Hello everyone, welcome to Agentic AI Demystified with Studio, a series under TGIF and your backstage pass to get into the world of agent building. Today, we are going to start a short series which is around the governance with Power Platform and Copilot Studio. And definitely in this series, you will get to know what all the features and capabilities Power Platform Admin Center, not only that the environment management as well as the ALM platform provides across the platform to make sure that you are developing at scale and securely. And to talk more about this, I would like to invite Anand Ponnusamy, who is the Global Black Belt Solution Area Expert for Business Application, Microsoft. Hi Anand, thank you so much for joining.
Hi Vishaka. Hi everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share insights on Power Platform.
Great. Good to have you, Anand. As today's topic is pretty crucial when it comes to the business application development or any SDLC that we talk about. So when it comes to Power Platform and the governance coming with the Power Platform, we know that low code, no code application development platform, customers are using it exponentially, and governance is not to slow them down, but to make sure that they are scaling in the right direction. And that brings me to my question. Help us understand what are the different capabilities that Power Platform and Copilot Studio offer when we talk about governance.
Okay. So when we go into the enterprise applications, right, for larger enterprise or medium enterprise or even smaller enterprises, right, governance, data security becomes the primary key when they want to adopt any platform, whether it is low code or pro code actually. So it comes to security, how those applications are created or developed, moved across environments, how the access is controlled, and the audit logs are maintained.
Right.
So Power Platform provides you a comprehensive governance and security capabilities, which allows you to restrict access, enforce data loss prevention policies, give only the right set of access to the people required, along with the data access as well, not just the application access but also the data access. This comes with the comprehensive data loss prevention policy so that users does not by accident move the data, the corporate data, into their personal folders and so on.
Got it.
Apart from this, right, you also have the comprehensive ALM capabilities, which helps you to move the application seamlessly across development, test, UAT, and production environments actually.
Okay, so we have in place is the data loss prevention policies.
Yes.
Then comes the ALM, application development lifecycle features and functionalities. I also know that we do have the access on the different security roles at the entity and the field level too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so do we have the, the availability or the possible ways to customize all these governance and policies?
Absolutely. So for example, when you begin with the development, right, you'll need a lesser governance, more flexibility for the developers to explore things.
Right.
So what you can do is in Power Platform, right, you can create different environments. So you can have a separate development environment, separate test environment, separate UAT environment, production environment, with production having more stringent controls,
right,
with nobody having the create or update access to the app, whereas in the test it will be lesser governance, and in dev even more lesser governance, where you have the flexibility to play around for the developers to explore more things, how to do a particular feature development and so on.
Understood. And we'll talk about this in our next episode in detail when it comes to the environments and how we manage all this environment, keeping with under the umbrella of the governance. On that note, Anand, could you show us what we just talked about, the capabilities under governance in action?
Absolutely. Let's go into the demo of the admin center capabilities in Power Platform.
Okay, so what you're seeing is the Power Platform Admin Center, which you can access it by using the short URL aka.ms/ppac. You'll get the complete insights of your notifications, messages in this particular screen. So to access the environments, right, go to manage and you will see all the environments here, and you'll be able to see what are the environments created, which region they are located, and what release cycle they follow, and so on. So let's go ahead and create a new environment actually, and I'm going to create an environment for say governance, and I will link it to a particular region. So when it comes to environment region, right, this is very, very critical, primarily because this is the one which helps you to ensure you comply with the data residency requirements of the corresponding regions actually. Say for example, if you have employees in Europe and you wanted the data to reside in the Europe, so creating an environment in Europe region will ensure the app, the associated configurations, and the data residing in Europe region actually. So I'll leave it for US for now. And then the environment type. So this is very, very critical when you are creating an environment of type say development. You use sandbox. So sandbox environment type is used for development, test, UAT, and so on. Anything to do with the production, we create the environment of type production. Now, if I wanted an environment for learning purpose, that's for my own individual learning, I use the developer environments. Okay. And the trial, as the name indicates, it's for trial and it expires automatically after 30 days. Now to have a Dataverse in the environment, I enable add Dataverse data store and click on next. Now this environment, right, you'll be able to restrict the access using the security group. So you can associate an environment to a particular security group. Say for example, I'm adding it to Contour's security group, which is basically an Azure AD or Entra security group. Any user who is part of this security group can access this particular environment. So I can create the environment and I'm saying save. Now this environment will get created actually. So I've created an environment called govern and it is still preparing. Once it is ready, right, we'll be able to use it. Now it is created. Now if you remember, we added a security group. Yeah. Now not all users will have the same kind of role in that environment. So you can go to the users, select the user and associate a particular security group. So select one of the users and go to manage security role and you can associate a particular security role. So we recommend a policy called least privilege access, which will ensure, right, the user will have the least privileges that is required for him to perform his job. So you can associate a security role. Say for example, here I'm associating a basic user and save this. So this user will have a basic security role. Or I wanted this user to be this you can edit. Yeah. So for this particular user, right, I want to restrict or I want him to be the system customizer who will be able to build applications and modify. I can associate those roles to that particular user. Then the user access will be granted the corresponding security role access actually. Now, apart from the security roles, right, you also have the option to create a custom security role. What you saw is the predefined security roles. I can go back to the environments and I can go back to the security settings and create a custom security role as well. Yeah. So here is where I can go ahead and create a new security role with the appropriate privileges. Say I'll open an existing to show you what options you have. So you can assign table level privileges, CRUD operations and so on. Now what we have done is we have created the environment, we have added the users, we have associated the security roles. Now the next part is not every environment will have every policy or every connectors enabled. So that is where the connectors comes into picture. I go to security, data and privacy section and go to data policy. I'll go create a new policy. You are aware, right, there are 1500 plus pre-built connectors that are available. So technically you will be able to block every connector except for the first party connectors. So you can select all the blockable connectors and you can block. So this leaves only the 24 non-blockable connectors for them to play around. Now if you want to allow a specific connector, you can just go and say, for example, I want to allow OneDrive connector or say SQL connector. You can select multiple connectors and say move to non-business. So you'll have those connectors available here, and you can click on next. Next comes the custom connectors. Because they have development privileges, they can create custom connectors. Now, to restrict them from using external API, say for example a Facebook API or a third-party API, right? You can restrict the endpoint actually. So any endpoint matching this pattern will be allowed. Say for example api.microsoft.com. I want to allow only this host pattern. I can allow it actually. Now rest all right will be ignored or blocked actually, and I can move. Then I can restrict it to a particular environment or all environments. In this scenario, right, I'll select set of environments where I'll block it. I'll block it for the govern environment which we have created, and I'll say add to policy. So what for this particular environment, those only 26 odd connectors which we allowed will be used in the apps, flows, and the studio based agents, and I can create the policy. This way, right, I'll be able to ensure the data is protected, and my data does not move outside of the organization actually. So what we have seen till now is like environment, the various kind of environments, users, the security role associated with the users, and the data loss prevention policies. We'll talk about further governance in the subsequent sessions.
I think the very simple step-by-step explanation and the overview around what we provide when it comes to governance with Power Platform Admin Center. Stay tuned, all of you, for our next 2 series of episodes in the governance with Power Platform and Copilot Studio. We'll talk about managed environments followed by ALM discussion. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
Vishaka. Thank you.